project for today is going to be this John Deere L130. This is the one from a previous video that I got going. A guy had pulled it from the woods that had been sitting out there for a number of years, and he traded me this mower and another one and some cash for another mower I had that was running and working. But he's been using this all summer, the guy I sold it to, and finally lost the deck belt on it. He was aware that was not the greatest belt on there when he got it, but he lasted about half the summer of mowing with it. And the other problem is when you shut the key off, it doesn't shut the motor off. It kills one cylinder. So I'm guessing one of the wires from the coils is off of there, or it's been chewed on or something, because we did have a mice problem on this. I might have not saw a wire that had been chewed. I'll get you set up and we'll get started on the belt first, and then we'll dig into why it's not shutting off. We'll take these covers off first. I'll check this spindle. It does seem like it turns kind of hard. Get the belt out of here. So this spindle looks like it's got something jammed up underneath it. I don't think it's the actual bearings making it spin hard, but we'll still have to take it apart because it looks like there's some twine or something stuck in there. And these ones have they've got a block up in there. So once you take the blades off, it doesn't really show you much. So we'll have to take this nut off here and drop the spindle out through. And then this pulley feels tight still. It's a little bit loud. So with these ones, if you want to save a little money and make them last a little longer, you can a lot of times get a needle greaser down in here and pump some grease into these bearings, because this one sounds like it's almost dry. And that'll usually get some more life out of them. These ones back here though, this one's got a little bit of play. I might be able to get by with just greasing that one, but this one back here has quite a bit of play, and it's pretty noisy. So I'm thinking that one's gonna have to be replaced. Two smaller ones anyway, I might just replace. And this spindle here seems like it spins okay. I don't think these were greasable. That's one downfall of the stock spindles, is they're usually not greasable. Some of the John Deere's had them right in the top where you could grease right through the top. That was a good design. So I ordered those two smaller pulleys, and then I'll just grease this one up. And we'll take this apart now. That pulley is really jammed on there. These have a kind of a hex piece that the pulley fits onto. I'll get a pry bar. You can see the hex shape in it. These do get stripped every once in a while, so if you got one that the one blade doesn't seem like it's turning, that can be a problem where the pulley is spinning over the top of the shaft. I don't know if we're going to be able to get that out of there or not. We might have to try to chip away at that whatever's stuck underneath the deck there. I'm going to raise it back up and go under there and see what we can do. You can see here it's like a tarp or something that got stuffed in there. I'm getting some of it out of there. I think we'll call that good. That one seems to spin okay. The other side spun okay too. This one's still a little sticky, but if all it is that tarp material, it might burn that out of there. We'll just go ahead with everything else and then see if we got to address that later. I don't want to be beating on that spindle. I don't want to end up wrecking something by beating on that spindle when it's still a decent spindle and bearing in there. Now we'll drop it down and I gotta move it backwards to get the hood open, and we'll see if we can address the engine not turning off with the key. So I pulled this cover off and the coil kill wire was disconnected on this side, which I'm not sure how that happened. I might put a zip tie around that or something to hold it in place, because it feels like it's a tight fit, but something knocked that off of there. We'll start it up and make sure that works now. So I'm testing the kill circuit. I've just got the meter set to ohms, and then I've got one of the probes in the kill wire, and then the other side just on ground. And you can see with the key off, we're making connection to ground. Now I'll turn the key on and you'll see it goes away. Had a little bit of resistance there, but that's just a quick way to test the kill circuit. It was pretty obvious it was off of the coil, so that was our issue, but I'm wondering how it actually got pulled off of there, because I know it worked when the mower left before. I'll get the cover put back on after I get something on here to hold this in, and then we'll get going on replacing the pulleys on the deck. I just took a pliers and crimped the end here down a little bit tighter on the spade end. And that seems to fit a lot tighter. I think it was just loose on there maybe. There's not really a good way to wrap a zip tie around it or anything, so that should hold. Might wrap a zip tie here around the intake just so it can't really move off of that spot. Now we'll take those two idler pulleys off there. It's just a 15mm socket. Looks like it's rusted on there. I got this middle one soaking in some penetrating oil because that's stuck on the shaft. And this one here I cleaned up and put a little bit of anti-seize on there. And this one here, I'm going to take the grease gun with a needle greaser and I'll stab down under that seal and pump a little bit of grease in there to quiet that one down. Since this one really doesn't have any play, it just sounds like it needs some grease in there. This is the little needle greaser. I'll see if I can push that underneath here. And then we'll hook the grease gun to it. I hang on to it with a rag, otherwise it kind of makes a mess. You kind of got to go around it a couple different spots. You can kind of hear that it's quieted down some. I'll do one more spot. It's not perfect, but it's a quick fix if you don't want to put a pulley on right away. It'll last a while longer than it would have if we just left it dry. I'll let that pulley soak for about 20 minutes. We'll see if it'll come off now. I managed to sneak a puller in here, and hopefully that'll pop that off there. I don't want to pry too much with a pry bar because it's starting to bend this piece. If I go too crazy, then we'll get our belt out of alignment. So see if this works. We broke it loose. There we go. I'll take a wire brush and clean that up. I'll put some anti-seize on it like I did on the other one. put our new belt on it. I don't have a belt diagram for this one, so I'm just kind of gonna wing this one. It looks like it's not too difficult to figure out. There, we got it in there. Just kind of all goes over to the left side like that. We'll see how everything runs now with the new pulleys. Hopefully it quieted it down and that belt runs okay. It's down all the way right now, so it's at quite an angle. I got it jacked up too, so you wouldn't be able to actually ever get the deck this low, but I just wanted more room to work. I'll get the hood put back on it and the guards put back on the deck, and then we'll go out and test it out. So got the mower out back, ready to test it out. Got the covers back on the deck. I did grease up the spindles. Two of the spindles were greasable on this, the one other one wasn't. I don't know if that's a aftermarket one or if this, I don't know if the stock ones were greasable on these or not. I might have already replaced a couple of them. But we'll fire it up and do a few rounds with it, and then this one should be good to go. Well, that's going to do it for this one. Everything seemed to work fine on it. The deck's still a little bit noisy, but he didn't want to spend a heck of a lot on it, and I think it'll last the rest of the summer anyway. Might need that one other pulley replaced and maybe a couple of spindles later down the road. Well, if you like this sort of thing, like the videos and subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you on the next one.